Hey guys, been a while since I've done a video. Last one I think was during COVID, so it's been a while. But this thing just set me off, and I've just had it with the conspiracy theories about Charlie Kirk. This video's been sent to me by a couple of people. I don't know how one can think this is credible, but I'm just going to assume that everybody is well-intentioned and that they just are struggling with making sense of what is an open and shut case of a lone gunman with a rifle who murdered a man during a campus debate. So the guy that put this video out, his name is Stu Peters. He's a conspiratorial nut. He's out there on the fringes, but unfortunately it's making the rounds. And Charlie's murder impacted me deeply. I knew Charlie. I wouldn't say that we weren't social friends or anything, but every time I met him, we were on a first name basis, did business together. My agency partnered with his production company on Jack Posobiec's podcast, and so I'm close enough to the organization where this was very personal to me. And to see people try to profit off it by drawing attention to themselves, trying to claim that this is what Charlie was going to do next, and Charlie was going to switch to my denomination of religion, and I knew what Charlie was thinking, and I knew what Charlie was planning, and it's not all this stuff here that's so obvious. It's some grander conspiracy. It's disgusting, and so I just want to debunk this one video and just try to nip it in the bud for the people that know me that are asking me about it, so I don't have to keep repeating myself. So this video's for you guys. Okay, check it out.
Take a look at the lavalier. Check this out.
Oh, way. If you want security, the Israelis know what they're doing.
This is the Israeli.
Okay, just real quick. So he wants you to talk about the lavalier mic, which is about this size. And then he slips in the whole thing about Mossad. Let's just kind of quietly sneak in the Jews did it, which is the whole theory here. Even though there's absolutely no evidence to back that up. It's just they're throwing it out there because Charlie had some disagreements with the Israeli government's handling of Gaza. And he didn't like the fact that he was being pressured to take certain positions and lose his independence. He didn't want to lose that. And so somehow, I get their theory is, with people like Stu Peters running around saying the things he's saying, they're going to take out Charlie. I mean, it's just so stupid. But anyway, here goes.
Company that went and grabbed the device or whatever it is, allegedly.
Here it is from the wide angle. Watch Charlie Kirk's right side of his t-shirt. Watch the lavalier lapel mic. Do you see it explode?
No, I don't.
Let's bring it in just a little bit closer. Watch this. Put it in a freeze frame. That is the explosion from Charlie Kirk's lavalier lapel mic. Want to see it again? Bring it in closer. Remember when we told you that was absolutely an exit wound? Yeah, it is. Check the trajectory of the round that was deployed from that lavalier lapel mic. That went directly from Charlie Kirk's lapel. That went directly from underneath Charlie Kirk's white t-shirt up through his neck and created the exit wound that we told you was an exit wound immediately when we saw that exit wound.
Okay, he said exit wound like 5 times. So let's just kind of unpack this a little bit. First off, he's calling it an exploding microphone. Now, explosions don't have exit wounds. Explosions just blow things to bits, okay? So entry and exit wounds are used to talk about gunshots. He keeps using the term exit wound, exit wound. That's an exit wound. That's an exit wound. And there's a projectile. Well, which is it? Is it a projectile firing microphone or is it an exploding microphone? Because it can't be both. And when you look at his shirt, you see it puff out. This is going to get technical, guys, okay? Real technical. That puffing of the shirt you see, it's wind. It's wind from around traveling at 2,000 feet per second. That's all it is. It's just wind. And it's his body reacting and being thrown back from the impact. And let's just put aside the fact that he called it an exploding Jewish microphone and kind of hone in on his whole thing about the projectile. He's talking about a projectile. So we're going to just forget about the exploding microphone, projectile. And he's talking about, you see what happens when it goes in certain directions. Well, the microphone, first off, was attached to his lapel. If that thing was firing any kind of projectile, the recoil would have thrown it off. It wouldn't have really you wouldn't have had a clean shot. There's no guarantee that it would go in the direction you wanted it to because it's attached to fabric. And then his angle's all wrong. So just, if you follow me on this one right here, let me just take my ruler. The microphone was sitting right, I don't know if I can do this, like right on this angle, okay? So if the microphone's on this angle, please explain to me how the exit wound was down here. We talk about magic bullet theory. The thing, instead of going up and out, you know, this way, it went in, took a U-turn, and came out in this direction. What's the interesting thing about this is because if you look at the angle, which this was the angle, it lines up perfectly where the shooter, who was now being charged with Charlie's murder, was perched up on that building top. All right, let's get back into this absolute stupidity.
First we had exploding pagers, now we have exploding mics. Do you remember the vector analysis from John Bray? That proves that all of the activity came from the mic that Charlie Kirk was wearing. Remember the...
If you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit. Vector analysis? Vector analysis. I don't need a vector analysis. We have an entry wound. We have a suspect in custody. We have videotapes of him. And he's doing a vector analysis on the wind hitting his shirt. And by the way, did you notice something about the shirt? Over on this side where the mic was? There was no flash. There was no explosion. The shirt didn't tear. And there was no blood. From the exploding / projectile firing lavalier microphone, which is this big. Let's get back to this. Wrap it up.
Palm gun guy in the brown shirt, that shadowy looking guy with the sunglasses.
Shadowy looking.
He pushes the detonator.
Yes.
Clear as day.
Clear as day. Let's see that in slow motion. It makes it more credible. I don't know who this guy is. Look. Oh, it's the old Jewish sleeve detonator.
That's the assassin. That's the guy that pushes the detonator, which perfectly aligns with the explosion that pushes that projectile through Charlie's right side of his neck and out the left side, creating the exit wound.
Fucking idiot. So, I don't know if you've ever been out in the sun before, but you are now a shadowy figure because you're wearing sunglasses and you adjusted your shirt. This is, by the way, this is a secret Mossad code, you know. I'm sure there was some other guy in the crowd that was picking his nose when the gun went off. Is that is he part of the plot too? How about the person who was scratching his ass? Maybe. So I don't mean to be disrespectful to the people that are sending me this. I'm making this video for you because I want you to think these things through, and I want you to critically analyze the people you're following, and maybe you need to follow some different people because this is just idiocy. Stu Peters is irresponsible. If he believes this, he's an idiot. And if he knows that what he's saying isn't true, then he's intentionally lying to his audience who trusts him. And, you know, I know he's looked like he had a pile of supplements and products and he's pitching stuff. And I just feel like we should be a little more responsible given what's at stake and how these algorithms work and how people are getting further and further down the rabbit hole, getting angrier and angrier at each other. It just seems to me that we should be responsible and in the very least be factual. There's plenty of things to talk about. But let's stop trying to profit off Charlie Kirk's death and let the man rest in peace. In the very least, he deserves that. Thanks.